everyone. I am doing another video for you guys today, except this time instead of using a pregnancy test, we're going to be using the Dollar Tree's brand New Choice Ovulation OPK ovulation test. So basically, I have been getting 7 days positive OPKs. I started out using I had a really long wonky cycle, which is actually why I started doing some of these videos where I was just kind of doing experiments and stuff with home pregnancy tests and, you know, the internet GPs, and did a couple name brand ones. So my flow was 14 days, and on top of that, I'm trying to pinpoint. I started charting again. I'm trying to pinpoint my ovulation so I can pinpoint when my next, you know, flow is going to be, or my mens or whatnot. And then I started getting several positive OPKs in a row, and so I decided to switch to a different brand. And last night I did the same brand, but it was with the Dollar Tree, and it was, you know, diluted. My urine was diluted, and I didn't hold it for 2 to 4 hours as recommended, and it, you know, still came out positive. So as you can see, these are all by test. And as you can see, there's the Dollar Tree one, it's New Choice Ovulation Predictor. And I've gotten, you know, like I've read some really good reviews, but the only thing is I don't know the sensitivity. Before that I was using First Response. I don't know the sensitivity of that one either. And we have a luteinizing hormone that actually surges through our body, you know, all the time. But, you know, tons of people have tested with this brand and have never gotten a positive, as well as with the First Response. So, you know, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But as you can see, my first test was 8 p.m. on cycle day 24, and then I did one at 2:15. And then, you know, I generally test around between 2 and 8 p.m., which is recommended, rather than you're using first morning urine, because usually it's not metabolized enough until the afternoon. So they recommend, it's not like a pregnancy test, so they recommend using afternoon. Anyways, and so I've done that. And so it is now cycle day 30 for me. So I'm about to see what happens, and I'm going to see how the test comes out, because I will also post a video from last night, because I also did this last night, you know, just to kind of see what the concentration was, just to see how sensitive the test was. And, you know, it came out positive, but, you know, we'll see. So today's going to be another test, because I've held it for, you know, 4 hours, and it's about 3:30 p.m. and so let's see, you know, let's see what happens. You're supposed to do about, you know, 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look at the directions on the box, some people get confused by that because they think, oh, if 2 lines appear, that means it's positive. No. Anytime you're dealing with, unless it specifically says otherwise, there's always going to be 2 control lines, because, or I'm sorry, 2 lines on the test itself, because you constantly have LH running through your system. And it has to be darker. Well, either equal to or darker than, the test line has to be equal to or darker than the control line for it to be a positive, which all of these have been the case. So just keep that in mind whenever you're testing with one of these. Like I said, I am on cycle day 30. Typically I have, you know, 28 to 30 day cycles, and I'm on cycle day 30. You will see the pink surge. And it usually takes about, let it sit for about 5 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes before I get it. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes to get a true reading. I know with the first response ovulation test, you can read them up to an hour. And what I've noticed with these, the cheaper ones, the dye kind of tends to fade. So even though it may have been a true positive, like if you look at it, you know, like a few hours later, the dye will be lighter. So far with this video, it's about 5.5 minutes, and I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes. I was actually very surprised yesterday because the test got really dark. I was like, okay, I thought with diluted urine it would be different, but it got really dark. And as it develops, it actually kind of appears to do the same thing right now. I've also heard weird things where you can actually use an OPK as a pregnancy test as well, because I've heard that if you are pregnant, that it can pick up the HCG hormone, because it's actually like almost an identical twin to the LH hormone. So I may do one of those experiments later on down the line if I happen to have a friend that is pregnant. You know, the only thing is, like, people that chart and you're trying to detect early pregnancy, I don't think it would work early on. I think that a normal, you know, like say a first response or a low sensitivity pregnancy test would pick up the HCG before an OPK would. But then again, I've also heard that if you get several days of OPKs, that could also be an indication of pregnancy. But also, with that being said, it could also be an indication of PCOS, because women who have PCOS also have high elevated LH hormones. So yes, so it's been about 2 minutes and the dye's getting pretty dark. So again, it appears to be another positive. And that's only after well, it'll be 3 minutes soon. So, and that's something else I noticed, that it tends to do it quite fairly fast. I was Googling like negative OPKs, because sometimes, like, when you haven't been doing it for a long time, which I have 2 kids and I have actually my tubes tied. So, you know, I really didn't feel the need to chart, because when I was charting before, it was because I was trying to, I'm on Fertility Friend. I am trying to, my screen name is trying to conceive, like with the number 2, trying to conceive. Anyways, and I'm also on babycenter.com. Snow 105644479. But when I had a C-section with my daughter, and I did not feel the need to chart any longer, and got my tubes tied, and it's been 7 years, and it's only because of this massively long, weird cycle. On day 2, I got massively sick. I, you know, vomited profusely for about 7 hours straight. Wasn't food poisoning. My husband had the same exact thing as me. So did my mom. And I'm talking the whole entire week, because me and my mom were actually working on a project, because I'm also a party planner and a videographer and a graphics designer, which I do like wedding announcements and baby shower announcements, you know, invitations. I plan baby showers. I make diaper cakes. I make baby shower accessories. You can find me on Twitter at glitzygloss, GLITZY-GLOSS. And same thing with Instagram, glitzygloss, GLITZY-GLOSS. And I will have an official Facebook page at some point soon. But for now, you can also find me on fertilityfriend.com, and you can private message me there as well, or even on babycenter.com. So with that being said, because of the long cycle, I had a 14-day flow because of that, because of the horrible cramping. I mean, it felt like I was in labor, the massive sickness. I kind of wanted to pinpoint ovulation so I could pinpoint my next mens, and that's when I started getting just multiple positive OPKs, and that's when I became really confused. I started charting and temping like more than halfway through my cycle, and it just is so bizarre. So anyways, so now I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm kind of on the forums right now talking to some ladies, and just, they're really helpful and it really helps. I really appreciate it. So, okay. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another positive. So this is going on cycle day 30. Let's see, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 positive OPKs in a row, 2 different brands. If you happen to have the sensitivity information on New Choice Ovulation Predictor, which is the Dollar Tree brand, or even the First Response Ovulation, let me, leave a comment. Like, I want to know what the sensitivity of the tests are. And I'm hoping that it's, it's not 25 mLU, because that would make no sense, because we have LH surge running through our system all the time. Now, with my next cycle, I will be ordering some internet cheapies. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing. We'll see. And I will keep you posted. I just wanted to update you that, okay, this is positive OPK number 9. So I'll update. I'm going to load the video from last night, which was really quick. I did that in my garage just fairly quickly, and this is the one from today. And this is with afternoon urine that's been concentrated and held for 2 to 4 hours as recommended. And at the same time, it was 3:30 p.m. when I did this, and you're supposed to do it between 2 and 8 p.m. That's the best time. You never want to use first morning urine, so I never do that. And as you can see, it is. I'm even going to look at it. Oh, this time, okay. Look, this time the test line is actually darker. I don't know if you can tell. It's actually darker than the control line. Whereas last night, it was the same color, but that's probably because the urine was diluted. So there you have it, folks. Test line is darker than control line. Nice. So this is what I'm thinking. So either one, I have not ovulated yet, and my ovaries are, for some reason, whatever reason, gearing up, which would be odd. I don't know if with tubal ligation, getting your tubes tied, if that means that, you can go through early menopausal symptoms, which, if that was the case, well, that would explain a lot. 2 possible PCOS, but from some of the ladies I've spoken with who actually have PCOS, they also say they have multiple patches of fertile, cervical fluid as well, which that has not happened to me, and this is the only cycle. Even when I wasn't charting, I was still tracking it on my calendar, like, okay, so I would count like the first day of my cycle, and then I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do that for like a month. And then sure enough, I would put a reminder for myself, like possible, start date, and usually within a day or two, or maybe a day before or whatever, day after, day of, I would start. It was like clockwork. So anyways, and if it's not that, then I don't know. I mean, I could possibly be pregnancy. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not the case. Not that I wouldn't love. I mean, I would love to have another child, but just not right now. I'm like, not ready to do that right now. I have a 3- and a 4-year-old, and they're a handful, and, I would like our situation to be better before having another baby. But definitely it's crossed my mind to have like a reversal done, because I would love to try for a third one at some point, just hopefully not now, but I guess if it happens, more than anything, I'm hoping it's just healthy, because in my situation, if you have your tubes tied more often than not, and this is also some other things I've been hearing and reading, it can be an ectopic pregnancy, and that's where they actually implant the egg implants, like in the fallopian tube, or, you know, stomach lining, or in a weird place. I wouldn't say stomach lining, but you never know. In a weird place. Normally I would think like fallopian tube or something, or it doesn't implant into the lining of the uterus, which is where it should be. So therefore you have to seek medical help right away. It can be fatal, and you have to terminate the pregnancy, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping that's not going to be the case. I'm hoping it's going to be something else, and I'm hoping that maybe I'm just having an ovulatory cycle. And not that I would want to be an ovulatory at any point, but I certainly wouldn't want to have it like an ectopic pregnancy. But if it turns out if it turns out to be the case, regardless of what happens, I'll definitely update you guys, okay? Anyways, thank you for, you know, watching this video. This is Ashley. You know, feel free to contact me on any of these websites, leave a comment, subscribe, you know, share with your friends. I like making videos because I know there are other women like me in the world that are kind of wondering have the same questions. So why not make some videos and have some fun with it and share it with people? And I will continue to do that. I may possibly at some point also do some blogging and have another website up. So just, you know, I'll keep you informed, keep you up to date with everything. And if anything else should happen, I'm going to continue updating you with my journey as I go along, especially, you know, if I do happen to take a pregnancy test, which I don't have any at the time, but if I get some and I choose to do it, I'll definitely, you know, I'll do it live. So, you know, just keep watching. Thank you so much. Here again, these are my OPKs and New Choice Ovulation Predictor. These were first response. This is what I did last night. Diluted urine, positive, same color. And this is today with afternoon urine. And test line is darker than control line. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.